We're going to be doing the Dotson Trail to the Juniper Canyon Trail. It's 11.5 miles. We will either camp just before that or just after that, depending on how far we get tonight. It's about 10:30, 10:45 now. Just walked over and looked at the Homer Wilson Ranch house. Not much of a trail. Bird nest in this cactus. Tough bird. Circle around this hill. Came from back that way. Been dropping most of the ways, but it's going to start climbing now. Big prickly pear cactus. Goes way on up the hill. First real creek crossing. And this is what I'm most apprehensive of, is getting lost, is in going through these creeks. So does the trail come up here? Or does it keep going this way? Looks like some stacked rocks down there. Some footprints. I'm assuming we go this way. But on the Dotson Trail, that's really my main concern, is losing the trail down in one of these washes. I think we're on the right path. We got some rocks stacked over there. And it looks like a rock stack up here. So maybe it's an either or. And they're going to the same place eventually, but what you don't want to do is miss the exit out of the wash. I was walking and looking at this tree and wasn't even paying attention, and I did walk right past this right here. Then I turned around and saw it, and sure enough, this is the exit out of the wash. Gotta keep an eye out for these things. I'm not actually sure where the trail goes here, where it's going to take, but I do know it's going to top out inside that little saddle right there. And that should be the high point of the Dotson Trail. Although it'll still be up and down once you pass that. So I just got out of that long walk in the wash. And now I think I'm going to start climbing for real up to that little saddle. It's going to start heating up, I imagine, so I'm going to take this long sleeve shirt off shortly. been wanting to do this trail for a long time. Never made it out here to it till now. And this part of it, the Dotson part, was always the part I was most unsure of, because it's supposed to be a primitive trail, not well marked and easy to get lost. But I think that was back in the day. Now so many people do this that it's as well beaten in and marked as any of the other trails in the park, I believe. So this is a loop trail called the Outer Mountain Loop. There's several variations, and there's at least 3-4 different starting points. So I started at Homer Wilson Ranch, going counterclockwise. I'm going to do the Dotson Trail first, 11.5 miles, and it skirts the southern edge of the Chisos Mountains. And then it hooks up with the Juniper Canyon Trail, which is a 6-mile trail that climbs almost 3,000 feet and puts you up in the Chisos Mountains. There's a lot of trails up there. Take your pick. My plan is to go from Juniper Canyon to Boot Canyon to the rim. Take the rim trail around to the Blue Creek Trail, and Blue Creek back down to Homer Wilson Ranch. I think it's right at 28 miles. Plan on 2 nights, 3 days. Can start in the basin, but then you end up climbing into the basin and dropping immediately back down the Juniper Canyon Trail, then do the Dotson, then do the Blue Creek back up into the basin, or the Chisos, and then back down to the basin. So you end up climbing the Chisos twice. So I took the easier route. Also took this route because there's 2 water sources that are pretty reliable. One's down here at Fresno Creek, about halfway across the Dotson, and the other one is in Boot Canyon at the top of the Juniper Canyon Trail, which means I can carry less water and then fill up for tonight at Fresno. Have plenty of water to camp tonight. Then go up into the Chisos tomorrow, up into Boot Canyon, and fill up again there in Boot Canyon and have plenty for tomorrow night. And then leave a couple of liters for the 6 miles back to the car the next day, day 3. So if you miss getting out of the wash back there where I almost missed it, you'd end up going up that canyon. And I believe I saw a video where a guy did just that, but he was coming down. So apparently we're going to reconnect with this wash up here a little ways. So even if you did miss the wash, it may be harder, but you would connect with the trail. But that's not always the case. I do believe that one is. I'm going to stop, take the shirt off. I'm starting to sweat. And I really don't want to do that. So here's where the trail is going to cross the wash again and then head straight across. Should be easy to not get lost. But this is the top end of that little canyon I showed earlier. I'm gonna tell you, I don't know what it would be like walking down it, but that'd be more exciting than the trail we just came over. course, it might be a lot of work. Almost up to that little saddle. I think when we top out there, we'll start dropping down into the Smoky Creek drainage. And back down there is the way we came. Car's just on the other side of that little pointed hill there. And we've been walking up that canyon right there. I've only seen one other person since I started on this section of trail about 30 minutes ago. Pretty nice till the wind blows, and it's a little chilly. Well, I made it to the top of that little saddle. I believe this to be the high point of the Dotson Trail. Over there is a view of Muleer Peaks. And I believe those are actually lava tubes. The lava cooled inside the tubes. But the lava that poured out on the ground mixed with air and was a little softer rock, so it's eroded away, leaving the lava that hardened in the tubes left standing. And they call it Muleer's Peaks. And looking back down that way, you can see the trail. Haven't seen anybody else on it. Probably can't make out Santa Lena Canyon over there, but in the distance is Santa Lena Canyon. And there's a little pointy mountain, and we're parked just on the other side. This will be our last view down this side. And we're fixing to drop down this side. So we climbed all that way, and there's where you peek out, right there. It's probably 10, 15 yards wide, and you immediately start down. And that's the Dotson Trail. And we will drop down into there, and I can see the trail going over that way. But I'm gonna hike down here. Looks like a flat spot down there. I'm gonna make it down there, get out of the wind, and have lunch. I'm down to the first little creek crossing on this side. Not sure if this is Smoky Creek or not, but could be. Again, I don't want to get lost in these washes, but and look, there's little rock markers all along the way. And then the trail out is pretty obvious. Big prickly pear. There's that flat spot I could see from up above. Well, that flat spot I was going to stop at, I actually went on past it. There wasn't anywhere to sit, just in the dirt. I didn't want to sit in the dirt. So I kept on coming about a quarter mile. Found these flat rocks just off the trail. And while I've been sitting here, you can see where I came down from. About 6 guys have passed me. I don't know if you can see any of them down there walking the trail. None of them could see me over here. Where I was, you can't really see from that part of the trail. I'm sure the trail is going to go down in this draw and then around that. And then at some point we're going to have to go back up to get out of this drainage. I'm right at 5,000 feet. And the trail stays at 5,000 feet for the next mile or so. So we really won't know anything until we get around this corner here. Should be coming up on the Smoky Creek Trail junction really quick. Should just be right down here, but we'll see. Just had lunch, getting ready to start again. was a neat little section of trail, but not the easiest stuff to walk on. Or this creek. Good news is the saddle we're going to have to come over is dropping way down. So I don't think we're going to have a lot of climbing to get out of this drainage. Dropping again. I can see the trail on that little hump over there. Not sure what basin this is. It's too soon for Fresno. Haven't got to the Elephant Tusk Trail yet, but it ought to be coming up pretty quick, somewhere down in here. And that will put us close to halfway, right at 6 miles out of the 11 and a half. It's 2 o'clock right now. So, got about 4 hours before sunset, so not sure how far past Fresno Creek I will go, if I'll make it all the way to Juniper Canyon Junction tonight, but somewhere on that side of the Dotson is where I will camp. Somewhere probably around this bend, or the next one, we should start seeing the south rim of the Chisos, but still can't see it yet. Rangers coming with about 4 mules, 6 mules coming across there, and the other rangers told me they would be coming. These are some of the guys working on the trail. Past the mules, and my GoPro battery died right as I got to them, so I couldn't film them going by. That's the south rim of the Chisos. I've been walking on this trail for a while now. I thought, man, I've got to be close to that Elephant Tusk Junction. I'm looking down there and I don't have a clue where it is. It wasn't on that ridge I thought it was earlier. But I was just sitting here looking, thinking, man, how much further is that junction? And 20 yards away is the sign. So that puts me right at 6 miles. So this is 11 and a half across. So I got 5 and a half to go, so I'm a little over halfway. I can see the trail going up over there, and I can see some people on that saddle over there. I don't know if they're coming towards me or away from me. I just now saw them. But down in here is Fresno Creek. That's where I plan on getting water. And here's the sign. Elephant Tusk Trail. We're on the Dotson, headed towards Juniper Canyon. We came from the Blue Creek area. No idea. I guess that's the trail here, going up that way. But we got 5.5 miles to go to the Juniper Canyon trailhead. Don't know if we'll make it tonight. We'll either camp a mile or two short of there, or if we speed up, we may make it a mile or two beyond there. But somewhere in the next probably 4 or 5 miles, I'll probably stop and camp. It depends on the time. I can see another person going across over there. I mean, you won't be able to see it. That's the first person I've seen go in the same direction I am. I don't know if I'll catch them or not. Sorry. That is Elephant Tusk, by the way. And that trail goes down. I don't think it goes all the way to it, although you could probably make it. But I did just pass a guy going the other way, and now there's 3 people on that saddle right there, fixing to go down the other side. And looking down into Fresno Creek, this is where I intend to fill up with some water. What I understand is you cross this first little part and there'll be water, but if you skip that and go on over, you'll be in that second drainage and there's more water. And I think I can actually see some water right there in that white spot, but they said it was flowing. The guy just passed, so should have no problems getting all the water I need. Okay, so I've got to the first part of the Fresno Creek drainage, and there is water here, and then there's a little pool further down by that rock. Again, going from what I'm told, you skip this one, climb up over this little ridge, and you drop down into the true Fresno Creek. This is just a little branch. There's some water down there too. But that's the first water I've seen. Hope I don't have to go back and get that. It didn't look very good, but may not be much better over here, but it should be more. Supposedly some pools. But we're fixing to find out. There's quite a bit more water. Goes across the trail. I'm gonna meander down here, muddy trail. I'm looking for some better pools to pull water from, but I don't know. I'm gonna take the pack off here, get the filter, and go scout around for water. Here's a really nice pool. Goes on down there and more, and there may be even more, and I'm not, there's my pack, so I'm not 20 yards off the trail. It's cool. There's a bird nest. Probably last year's. Let's see. Well, it's 3:30. Still at Fresno Creek. Just got water. Gonna sit here for a few minutes and eat a Cliff Bar or something, and then probably push on for at least 2 more hours. Probably stop around 5:30. It's supposed to get dark at 6:30. So 5:30, that gives me an hour to make camp and cook in the light if I want. But we'll see how I feel here after this climb. Sure is peaceful. I've just come up a little ways from Fresno Creek. Right down there is where I got my water, where the trail crosses. Right there where those pools were. And then down there, even more pools. See, 3. Probably even more of that hard rock down there. So for now, there's plenty of water here. I don't know how long that lasts into the spring and summer, but plenty now. 50. Definitely not going to make the trail junction tonight. Camp somewhere along the way. Wind's really picking up, so I'm hoping somewhere out of the wind. See elephant tusks just up over the side of this hill. But we'll go another hour and a half, and then probably take the first campsite after an hour and a half. These dagger plants, like going through a car wash, except they have thorns and it hurts. A little trail sign points to the Datsun, but that's the way I came. This is the way I'm going to go. I believe we go out up that way, but what's significant about this sign, supposedly, is that it marks the turnoff to the Datsun spring. But I don't know if the Datsun spring is going to be up here or over there. So I'm going to poke around just a minute and see if I find water or not, and then I'll be on my way. Well, here's the old pipe, so apparently the spring is up this way. Nice used toilet paper, that's always fun to come across. But there's water up here. Yeah, I'm thinking there's water here. And I'm not going to go up to find the source, but if you were desperate, you would have it. Probably somewhere around mile 9. Oh, 2.5 miles to go. It's 4:30. I'm gonna go at least another hour. I haven't passed anybody since the guy at the Elephant Tusk Junction. Those 3 people were in front of me. Probably a good 30 to 40 minutes. I stopped for 30 minutes and they were 10 minutes up the other side of the trail the last time I saw them. Then I poked around Datsun Spring a little bit. Don't know if I'll run into them tonight or not. Two miles to go to the Juniper Canyon Trail. Don't think I'm going to make it tonight. At some point this trail turns and goes back north. I'm in this little channel and the wind, I don't know if you can hear it, it's kind of whipping up here and it's cold. The wind is cold. The day's nice and I'm not cold, but when that wind hits, it certainly sucks the heat off of you. So I'd like to be in a flatter area and maybe a little less wind. So I'm hoping to get around this turn and maybe it'll open up and not be as windy. Bunch of candelia here. This plant, it's got a waxy coating on it to hold moisture in, but people actually harvest this plant, boil it, and they get that wax off of it. And they make different things out of that wax. But to do it, you got to kill the plant. You dig it up, roots and all. And well, it's 5:30, so supposedly the next campsite I'm going to stop, but we'll see. Pretty interesting part of the trail. There's definitely no camping to the right or the left. Shadows are getting long. Sun's getting low. Still opening up a little like I thought. Furthest mountains are over in Mexico. Kind of pinkish. color. We're just right on this little ridge. Alright, it's 5:40. Trail, we're finally heading north, back up to the Chisos. A couple of flat spots right here off the trail. I think that's going to be home for tonight. A little windy, but it's supposed to die down some. That's really not bad. The sun is set. Beautiful evening. Wind has died down. Hopefully it stays down. Making dinner. I believe I've come either 10.5 or 11 miles. My phone says right at 11. I walked up the trail just a little ways a while ago just to see what I could see, and I never saw the Juniper Canyon junction, but it should be half mile to a mile at the most for first thing in the morning. The Dotson Trail didn't know what to expect, but it was as hard as I expected. The trail was easier to follow than I expected. Better marked, better maintained, but it was still a tough trail. It was never flat. It was either going up or it's going down. So I'm still not off of it. Got a little bit to go, and then the big climb tomorrow. But I'm all set up for tonight. I'm gonna have some chicken and dumplings, and then wait for it to get dark, and then probably crawl into bed. Well, day 2 on the Outer Mountain Loop. It's about 8:30. Slept a little late because it was fairly cold this morning. There was frost on the inside of the tent, so it must have froze last night. Looking at the map, I'm about a mile from the Juniper Trail junction. Just sorting out the water for the day. Then all I have left to do is take down the tent and then pack everything up and be on our way. About 11 miles to our campsite tonight. And a lot of it uphill. If I get to my designated campsite early enough, I may just come on down and then see how far I get down the Blue Creek Trail, or maybe even make it all the way down. I don't know that I can go that far today. I made it to the Juniper Canyon Trail. It took me about 20 minutes. So I may have been farther along the Dotson than I thought last night. But there's the Juniper Canyon Trail. This is a Jeep road, four-wheel drive road that comes back into here, and you can actually start from here or drive in here to cache water. And then there's a campsite, car campsite just down the road, maybe a quarter mile. Over here is a big bear box, but it's for storing your water if you're going to cache water here. There's quite a bit in there. There's some bottles that say free. I'm assuming that means anybody can use them. We're going to head on up 6.2 miles and I believe 2,950 feet. There's a spring about halfway, and I believe the spring is right when the climbing gets serious. So I'll see my water situation there, and I may get some more water at the spring. There's the sign warning you of mountain lions and black bears. It says don't touch them. It's already warmer right now at 9:30 than at any point yesterday, so definitely gonna be warmer today. Still headed up the Juniper Canyon Trail. See what progress I've made. We're getting close to the back. And I've not seen any wildlife on this trip other than birds so far. No lizards, squirrels, deers, nothing. I believe it was a red-tailed hawk yesterday. And a cardinal. I did see 2 hikers coming down. They're day hikers. They're going to do this whole loop in one day. They started in the basin, went up the Pinnacles Trail, Boot Canyon Trail. Now they're going down Juniper, and then they'll finish on the Laguna Meadows trails tonight. They did tell me there's 3 people about 5 minutes in front of me. So I assume that's the same people I saw yesterday leaving Fresno Canyon. So they're just a little ways in front of me. I don't know if I'll catch them or not, but took a break a little while ago. But while I was taking the break, heard this boom, just loud boom, like an explosion. And I have no idea what it could be unless it's maybe a military jet flying off out in the valley or the flats and broke the sound barrier. And that was a sonic boom, which I assume that's what it was. Man, it echoed down this canyon for a long time. Okay, I'm still pretty deep into Juniper Canyon now. I think I'm getting ready to cross this draw and head to the other side. And there's a landmark up here I recognize, so now I can kind of tell where I am and where I'm going. And I don't know if it'll come out on film, but in that gap to the right, the rock on the left that has the flat part and then the point like a toe, that's the boot that's in Boot Canyon. So that draw on the right is the very bottom of Boot Canyon. So where it'll top out over on the left, I don't know, but we're going to go up that way and we'll go to the left just underneath those rocks there. Some views back the way I came. A little hazy out there. Gotten really brushy and overgrown. All these plants have thorns on them, so they definitely scratch you. Turned and headed up the canyon, so I've definitely started the climb. I made it to the zone camping sign. It actually begins down the trail, so down there you can camp anywhere you want, but from here on up you're in the Chiso zone and you have to have a designated campsite. Trail turns and goes back this way, but the other significance of this sign is it is the junction to the Upper Juniper Springs Trail, which is right over there. So I'm going to go over there, see if there's any water, drink some, and have lunch. Coming up all this is muddy and water flowing, and it's coming out of this spring here behind this rock. It's called Juniper Springs, and it is flowing. Not a lot, but it is. This pool's where you can get water, but it's full of leaves. You may have to pull those out. But if you do that, it's just going to stir up the muck. So I don't know what we're going to do here. Give it a minute to think about it. Okay, I was able to get my bag under the where it's actually flowing. It's filling up. Say it's taking about a minute, maybe 2 minutes per liter to fill that bag up. Still working my way up the Juniper Canyon Trail, but got to a high point up there, and then its trail started going down. I bet it would come down over 50 feet. All that we're gonna have to climb again. And apparently we're gonna get it all back pretty fast. That is a staircase. Going straight up the mountain. So what I think the trail does is it actually climbs on the right-hand side of the Boot Canyon, and then at this point it transitions over into Juniper Canyon, so it had to drop down, I guess, into the wash. And now we're probably climbing up the left part of Boot Canyon, and then we'll drop probably over into Juniper Canyon. It's not going to last. Got this view. That Boot Springs. This is an intermittent spring. Fortunately it's running today. It's about a liter every 2 minutes. Sometimes it runs faster. I couldn't get water here. There's a lot of pools in this canyon up above us that had water in them. I could have got water out of any one of them, but it was full of leaves and muck, so I thought this would be a better source. This is the junction for the Blue Creek Trail, my final trail. It's 5.5 miles to my car. Well, then a half mile. Once you get to the Dotson Trail, there's another half mile, so 6 miles. And it is 4:15. I've got a campsite reserved probably half a mile down this trail. I'm thinking of just blowing on by that and seeing how far down the trail I can get before it gets dark. And if lucky, I can really push it and maybe make it all the way to the car. So what I did, I changed my plans a little bit. The Juniper Canyon Trail was so long, so hard, it just took it out of me. So instead of doing the rim and over to here, which is about 4 miles, I went up to Boot Canyon and did the Klima Trail over here, which is a little less than 2 miles. And I actually had cell service up there a little bit, so I was able to call home, let them know where I was at, so that was good. But now I'm just headed down the Blue Creek Trail, and I'm just going to see how far I get. And I'm already to this is Blue Creek 2. I've actually camped there once. Blue Creek 1's right here, so. And it's 4:15, so yeah, I am going to pass it. Would have been home tonight. It doesn't look bad back there. I think I got, shouldn't get dark as early on this side because I don't have the mountain between me and the sun. So if it gets dark at 7, it gives me 2 hours and 45 minutes. So I ought to be able to get down. There's zone camping starts up here a little ways, so I can camp anywhere I want once I pass that. So I'm just gonna see how far I can get. And of course it starts uphill. Not good. I don't think they're selling nachos. I think they're telling Nacho which way to go, but I wonder who Nacho is. This is on the Blue Creek Trail. Looking west. We will be dropping down into this canyon and then staying in the wash pretty much all the way, I think, all the way down. And then we will go to the left once we get around that mountain. I don't know how far out we have to go, but that is a blue rock. I don't know, maybe that's why they call this the Blue Creek Trail. I made it to the zone camping, so now I can camp anywhere I want, although there's really not anywhere to camp up here. But when I get down lower in the wash, there's quite a few campsites from what I've seen. And then walking in the wash, the Blue Creek Trail. I was really kind of dreading walking in the wash, but it actually feels better on my feet. It's really soft. I think we're entering what they call the Red Rocks area. You see out there, the sun is about to set. I'm about 2 miles from the parking lot into the car. It is 6:25. Decided to go ahead and push on to the car. Took a rest up the hill a ways and drank some water, ate some food, fished out my headlight if I need it, and decided to just go ahead and come on down. About a 3-hour drive back home, so if I get out of here by 7:30 or 8, I'll be home by before midnight anyway. That is really cool. Looking back at those red rocks with the setting sun shining on them. We have cairns up there. I've been hearing somebody coughing up in front of me. I don't know if somebody's on the trail going the same direction and I'm just slowly catching them, or somebody's coming up the trail and I pass them here in a minute. But I passed 2 guys early this morning doing this in one day. So I figured I would pass them guys. So it may be them, but I haven't seen them yet. I'm not sure you can make it out. There's headlights on the hill. That's the overlook, called Satol Vista Overlook, but it's right off of the main road. And you probably can't make it out either, but I can see the roof of Homer Wilson Ranch House. It is 6:40. Probably less than 30 minutes back to the car. I know my camera and the GoPro are not capturing the color of these rocks. They're really pretty. See what I can do editing to get it close to natural, but it's an amazing little area. I've been coming here all my life and had no idea this was here. And it's only a mile off the road. But it's been a great hike. A little quicker than I expected, but once I got started, it almost became a quest to see if I could do it. Looks like I'm going to make it. So, no freeze-dried food tonight. It'll be probably a hamburger or pizza, depending on what's open when I get to Fort Stockton. It's just probably going to be too dark to see, definitely is, but this is the start of the Dotson Trail sign. So I've made it all the way back to here, completed the Outer Mountain Loop.